Welcome back friends, welcome to another lecture from Just Biology. In this lecture we want to talk about initiation process of prokaryotic replication. In the last lecture we have talked about an overview of the replication in bacterial cells, how this process will be happening and when the cells started to making these DNA copies for their multiplication. In this lecture, we want to talk about initiation process, how this metabolically, how this complex process takes place inside the cell. You know, as far as the bacterial genome concerned, we should know their consistency or how the forms of DNA. If you see the eukaryotic DNA, we can see they are linear, but in case of the bacterial DNA is circular. Does it make sense here? Because let's say, let's consider this is a bacterial genome. So this is a bacterial genome. So as I said, they are a circular form, but once they start out to making the copies of DNA, the DNA copy would be like a ring-like structure. So it would be like the one. So let's say. So the whole genome, the two genome will be like this. So it happens, like a ring-like structure, two ring, one inside another. So like that we can see. But once they finish all this process, an enzyme will come and cleave. So I'll draw better. I'll draw it here. So this is another strand, and this is both are linear. This is another strand of bacterial genome, and it resembles that of a ring inside another. So one inside another. So here you can see they are locked each other. There is no way to come out. For that, an enzyme will come and cleave this area, and the DNA will release one parallel strand with one newly synthesized strand. So that is the idea here. So here I am not going to talk about much on that, but we should know the process, how it happens, and what is the actual fate of this DNA. Now when we start initiation process, so initiation process we have to know consistency of the shape of the DNA. So as I said, they are circular form of DNA. But I am not going to draw like in a circular form. I'm going to drawing like a portion of DNA. Then we can discuss what are all the region which is important as far as the initiation concerned. Then that region, the fate of the region, and which protein is going to bind with that, and how what happens when the protein is going to bind with that. So this is the content what we are going to see now. This is bacterial genome. So I'm here drawing a small portion of bacterial genome. Here you can see two distinct base pairs of the DNA, or some sort of stretch you can see here. The first stretch we can call it as NAN base pairs. So NAN base pairs, we can call it as NANmers. So what we can call NANmers, isn't it? NANmers we can call it. You can see a 4 repetitive or the 4 consecutive NANmers in the sequence. So I'll draw here. So this is the first consecutive sequence NANmer. This is another one, and this is another one, and this is another one. So this is the NANmer. The two sets of NANmers. So they are made up of NAN base pairs. Now, what is the function of these NANmers? The NANmers will have a certain identification sequence. So they are the identification sequence, or we can say they are tag sequence. So why we can call it as tag sequence means it possesses recognition sequence for the some kind of protein, because these NANmers will have a specific region. So this is a specific region, as I said. So we can call it as DNA A box. We can call this region as DNA A box. So there is a reason also. So you can see why I am telling this is DNA A box. I'll tell later. And this DNA A box, what it is actually, what is the function of this DNA A box? The DNA A box will possess or will have a specific region, so which accepts certain protein, or which, this is the site for certain protein to bind with it for the starting the process of initiation. And what protein, I'll tell you. The first protein which recognize this 9-mer sequence. So 9-mer sequence which recognize in the A box. The protein which come and interact with this 9-mers is DNA A protein. DNA A protein. So actually the DNA A protein, like this prokaryote and eukaryote. So this A protein also present in eukaryotes, but we can call it in some other names. So we may call it in some other names. The DNA protein have some helicase activity or something. So actually this DNA A box will bind with DNA A protein. So that like DNA A protein. So this is DNA A protein. So this is what it is actually. This is DNA A protein in circular DNA. So that's we'll discuss now. The DNA A box, once they interacted with this DNA A protein. So what happens when this A box is bound with DNA A protein? It started to negative supercoiling. So remember, once the DNA protein will bind with DNA A box, so you can see they started to making a negative supercoiling. So it's more or less like so this is a negative supercoiling. So it's more or less like, so as soon as the DNA A protein bind with DNA A box, this structure will become like negative supercoil. So that is I have drawn here. Now, so what is the actual process of DNA A box and DNA A protein? The DNA A protein can identify, or they can recognize that where actually the origin of replication. So that is the idea. The DNA A box and DNA A protein will show the origin of replication inside the bacterial genome. So that is the function of DNA A protein. Now just look at the upstream region of DNA A box. So you can see, so I have to draw like, so this is, so I'm gonna extend some of the portion of the bacterial genome here. So in upstream region of DNA A box, you can see a specific sequence or specific base pairs. So that is, you can see a 3 consecutive base pair. We can call it as 13-mer. So they are made up of 13 base pairs. So 3 13-mer sequence and 4 9-mer sequence is gonna start the function of initiation. Now, so what is the function, or what is the relevance of this 13-mer besides 9-mers? Now, this, as I said, once the DNA A protein will have some pressure, or they will make some pressure on the 9-mer region, or they have some immense pressure on the 9-mer region. As the result, it will undergo the supercoiling, that is negative supercoiling. Now, actually they went to negative supercoiling, the DNA will sustain with the same pressure. So the pressure which is applied over here, that will also affect this 13-mer also. So what we need to do, why this pressure, why the immense pressure is applying over the 9-mer sequence? There is a reason, I'll tell you. So if we are applying force over the here, the 9-mer sequence, as the result, the 30-mer sequence will start to unwinding. You got it? Isn't it? So this 30-mer sequence will start to unwinding. Or actually they are highly coiled structure. The bacterial genome is highly coiled. So you will get a unwind DNA region, or this is called ORI. So this region we can call it as ORI, origin of replication. If you see this 13-mer sequence, you can see they are oftenly made, or the abundant element is adenine and thymine. So why? Because adenine thymine is not stable when compared to the guanine as well as the cytosine. Now, so once we got this unwinded DNA, so what we need to do? We need to open, because this origin of replication the origin of replication is the site where the actual process will begins. So that is the idea. Now, this origin of replication is identified by the cells. Now it has to start the process. For that, the cells will recruit a specific protein or special protein is called DNA B protein. So DNA B protein. So DNA B protein, what it is? The DNA B protein will go and bind to the 13-mer sequence of the upstream region. So what it does? The DNA B protein will go and bind to the AT rich. So that is 13-mer sequence on the origin of replication. What is the function of, why this is binding with 13-mer? So, as I said, we have already identified this is ORI, and why we need to allow to bind this B protein to the ORI site. But remember, here the site of the ORI, so this is unwinded only, but we need to melt this portion for the for the enzyme or the protein to react inside the DNA. So that is the idea. Now, what actually this B protein do? This B protein cannot open this strand. So cannot open this DNA strands. Why? Because they are not sufficient, or they are not eminent person or the eminent protein to open this strand. For that, the DNA B protein will recruit another protein for the helping of DNA B protein. Here, so they will recruit another protein, so that is called DNA C protein. Here, the opening of this ORI site is going to do with DNA B protein as well as the DNA C protein. So this is the idea. So this B protein and the B protein and the C protein is forming like flower-like structure. So it forms a flower-like structure and it can rotate as well. Now, actually this B protein have 6 subunit and the C protein have 6 subunits. So both the 6 plus 6 12. They have a 12 subunit. So that is more than enough for melting the DNA. So you got it? So the 6 plus it looks like it's like a 6 subunit. So it's more like a flower-like structure, and this DNA B as well as the C protein will bind with DNA, and this DNA, as it is moving, the hydrogen bonds between two strands will be melted. So that is the idea. Now this B protein will bind with 30-mer sequence, like here you can say, like here or here or something. As it is binding, so they need some energy to initiate their process. So they need some energy to initiate this process. So the one molecule of ATP will be utilized or the hydrolyzed here, so they will energized. The ATP will be utilized, and that would become ADP plus PI. So this enzyme will get activated, or they start initiation. Now this, I told you, this B protein cannot initiate the process alone. Now the C comes in action there. Just remember, the C along with the B only does the job. Now the C protein will also bind. The C protein will also bind with so it forms like a wheel. It forms like a wheel of the vehicle, so that we can easily access through the DNA strands. So that is the idea. Now, this, just remember this scenario. This will move on to the next level of DNA, this fate. Once the initiation is starting, so what's supposed to be happen? So we'll discuss now. Now, as it is circular DNA, so if, let's imagine, if it is linear DNA or linear one, we no need of more than one replication fork. As this protein will open, as it is melting, you will get a structure like this, because all the hydrogen bonds between the two strands are broken, and you will get a structure like this. So this structure, we can call it as a replication bubble, because the site of the replication, it's supposed to be happen in this bubble or this region. We will see the replication. Now just look at this, look at this portion. So this is the two region. It resembles that of fork. It's like a fork. So we can call it as replication fork. Why? Because actually this is a circular DNA. It should meet at a particular site. So they need to synthesize the DNA as soon as they can. So that's why they tend to form a more than one replication fork. Just imagine, this fork will allow to synthesize in this direction, this clockwise direction, and this DNA will synthesize. So this fork will allow this DNA to anti-clockwise or anti-parallel direction. So this is the idea. Once this portion will meet at this point, let's say this point is a termination site, we can call it as termination site. So once they touches termination site, the protein or the all content or all the enzymes will be detached from the site, and the full-fledged DNA will obtain. So this is the initiation process of the prokaryote, normally seen as I said just now. Now we'll move on to the the ones just I have to portray a one replication fork, so that's better to understand. So let's consider a one fork. Just consider one fork. So this is a one fork, one among the fork. So I'm going to draw only the one fork, because it's better to understand. If I'm drawing it two forks simultaneously, we won't get any any concept and all. So here you can see, so this is one of the strands. So they have got hydrogen bond, but they are broken. So just imagine, so this is the broken hydrogen bond, and this is not broken yet. Now, so they should have attached with this protein or this this enzyme or this protein. So this is the DNA A as well as the DNA B protein. So this is the complex of DNA B and C. Now, so we can have the question here, as this protein moves in this direction, all the hydrogen bonds will be broken. So that is the idea of this BNC complex. So this protein will move in this direction, and they will keep on moving. Like this is the this is the first fork, and you can see on the other hand there is a fork. Just imagine here also they have the replication fork, and they will also have the same BC complex here. Then this will also move around the move around the DNA, and they meet at a particular point. So that point will be that point we can call it as termination site. That site will detach all this this protein will be fall off. So this is the idea of this kind of fork. Now as the DNA is melted, so there is a chances for getting rejoin each other. In order to prevent this this rejoining of the DNA, cell will recruit another protein is called as SSBP. So we can call it as SSBP. SSBP means single strand binding protein. So this SSBP will come and bind with each and every strands. They have the two strands. The two strands will be bound with SSBP. Multiple copies of SSBP. So I'll draw here. So this is SSBP here also. So you can see many copies of SSBP over the strands. So it would be like this. So as the SSBP bound with this strand, so there is no chances for getting rejoined. Then the enzyme can easily forward, easily go ahead with the function. So this is the idea of SSBP. We should always remember like the directionality of the replication process. So what if you take transcription also, they have a specific directionality. Here the directionality of this replication is 5 prime to 3 prime. So that is the directionality of newly synthesized strand would be 5 prime. Here the 5 prime to 3 prime direction. So this is the 3 prime. Here it's supposed to be 3 prime, and as the strand is growing towards the 5 prime. So this strand will become a 5 prime to 3 prime direction, and this as the result we will get the strands of newly synthesized DNA. Now if you look at here, the strand supposed to synthesize in this direction, but in case of these anti-parallel strands, so it wouldn't happen like this, because so this is the 5 prime to 3 prime direction. So it will happen only in this direction. Just remember, so they are just it is like a coincidence, because the one strand will do the function like opposite direction, so that is in this direction, and the other strands will go this direction. So there is a some difficulties they may face. For that they will form some they will arrange themselves in specific form, easy to get access by the enzyme. This is regarding initiation process of prokaryote, so that is bacteria. Now I hope this information is more than enough for understand the concept of initiation process in prokaryotes. So I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. And the termination and the elongation process will be discussed in upcoming lecture, and keep watching and stay tuned guys.